Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you all. Thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who maybe I've not met before, my name is Paul Wright and I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for the Australian British Chamber of Commerce. And welcome to our first virtual Meet the Member of 2026. Even though we're in March, you know what I'll say it. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas and an Australia Day and all those different things. And I hope that business has already started going off for a boom with all of you. For any of you that have not joined us on these calls before, this is something that we started doing during COVID era when we wanted to find a way for our members to be able to interact with each other, to really be able to build their brand, both their personal brand as well as their company brand, and obviously find out ways in which we can support them with the type of work they're doing, both domestically as well as internationally. And it was so successful in generating those new business relationships, new business partnerships, that obviously we wanted to continue this session as it is today. So this session is going to be, a wonderful, engaging session. We want everybody to be as engaged as possible. So please, utilize the chat box that we've got here. If you scroll down to the bottom of your screen and click chat, the chat box will come up then. You can obviously ask questions on there to any of our speakers, and then obviously they can respond there as well. We will have a Q&A at the end of the session as well. So may I start proceedings firstly by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. As I'm based here in Sydney, that would be the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. So we have 9 fantastic speakers for us today. We did have 10, but unfortunately something came up with one of our speakers, but that means that our 9 speakers can now have a little bit more than 3 minutes, which is great, so we can hear even more of them. So please, take this time to really listen to what they're saying, and even if they're promoting a brand or a service that for some reason you or your company can't really utilize, please think about some of your connections and your networks that we could introduce to them. I think, as a chamber, we can only be as successful as we are together. So it's about us all trying to benefit and support each other at the same time. So without further ado, we'll get started with our first speaker, who, God bless him, was thrust into doing this about 20 minutes ago. God bless him, because unfortunately one of his colleagues was unavailable in the end. So our first speaker is going to be Ethan Mass. Ethan is the bids and proposals manager for Grant Thornton. So Ethan, your 3 minutes start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name's Ethan. I'm a business proposals manager here at Grant Thornton, based in Sydney. Grant Thornton, we're a global chartered accounting and consulting firm with roughly 80,000 people across more than 150 markets. So here in Australia, we do have a national presence. We've got 190 partners across 190 partners with 1,500 people across offices in most capital cities, as well as an office up in Cairns in Queensland. So our local focus is very much on mid-market, government, public and private enterprises, as well as growth-focused businesses. So we provide services across audit, tax, advisory and consulting, supporting our clients with inbound, outbound investment, cross-border structuring, transactions, as well as growth. So as a national business proposals manager, I work with all the service lines that I mentioned across Australia. I help lead, coordinate any RFPs, tenders, proposals. That's from an end to end, working with the partners, their teams, any subject matter experts, and help them develop win strategies, scope, pricing, any key differentiators and value that sets us apart. So through the ABCC that I want to actually talk about today, we're particularly keen to engage with UK businesses that are expanding in Australia, any Australian groups with UK operations or investments, as well as entrepreneurial businesses. So we often work closely with the founders, CFOs, finance leaders and board members, as we find they often want advice that's practical, commercial and easy to implement, which is essentially our bread and butter. So we already work with a number of firms as part of the ABCC community. For example, we've recently supported a UK-headed business from day one, setting up here in Australia. So I was working on structure, tax, registrations, as well as any ongoing governance support. We also have key members within our firm that we would like to think they're like luxury concierges that help these companies focus on joining the dots when they start up, finding the best person for the job and achieving the best outcome. So we do that across our clients. That helps build long-term relationships rather than just obviously knocking on the door once a year and turning up to do their tax work. So we really see the ABCC as an active and vibrant community with that sense. We're always keen to connect, find members who are expanding, restructuring, investing, all just looking to strengthen their finance and governance foundations. So obviously appreciate the opportunity to sort of speak a little bit more about Grant Thornton today, provide an overview. So feel free to reach out. As I mentioned, I'm the business proposals manager, but I'm happy to put you in touch with my colleagues that can continue the conversation and obviously provide more information on the areas that I've discussed today. Try to wrap it up within 3 minutes, so hopefully I'm on time.
It's on the dot. It's like you've done this before, mate. Fantastic. No, thank you so much. And yeah, as you say, we've had a great relationship with Grant Thornton, and they've been so supportive of so many of those UK businesses that have been coming out here, as well as founding business that's here as well. I think it's always a difficult thing to do, and I know there's a few obviously business leaders and business owners on the call today who can probably testify that it has been difficult to find a good company, a company that's going to look after them and treat them well. So yeah, as I can't speak highly of Grant Thornton, they've been fantastic. So thank you so much, Ethan. Now, I know that you've unfortunately got to shoot off very soon after this, but we will be in my follow-up email to everybody that's on the call today. I'll be sending all of our speakers' details out to all of our attendees. So yeah, please do obviously reach out to Ethan directly if you'd like to discuss anything further. So thank you so much again, Ethan. Wonderful job. Our next speaker is Meg Hooton. Meg is the business development manager at the beautiful Sydney Showground. I'm sure many of you have been there for the Easter show or got concerts or sporting events, all those different things. So Meg, your 3 minutes start now.
Great. Thanks, Paul, for the introduction, and hello to all online. My name is Meg Hooton. As Paul mentioned, I'm Business Development Manager at Sydney Showground. We are located in the centre of Sydney, 20 minutes from the CBD and the airport with a new tunnel. Sydney Showground's based in Sydney Olympic Park, being the largest venue in the precinct. We're under the banner of the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales and host the Sydney Royal Easter Show, which Paul just mentioned, each year, and we host approximately 800,000 people through the gate. We also have NG Stadium, which is located within Sydney Showground and is home to GWS AFL team and the Sydney Thunder cricket team in summer, and hosts many other live music events, including Bad Bunny, which we recently had, and Guns N' Roses coming up at the end of the year. So it's an exciting time. A brief outline on Sydney Showground is we are an award-winning venue with a team of experience in delivering a wide range of events to an exceptional standard. We're dynamic, diverse and flexible venue, able to host any event you can think of. Sydney Showground offers an array of venues able to host events from 200 to 7,000 guests, approximately 32,000 square metres of indoor pillar-free air-conditioned exhibition space. Not only do we hold conferences, gala dinners and exhibitions, we also hold events such as Meat, Stock and Barbecue Festival, hardstyle music events in our warehouse district, and to a fitness event such as High Rocks in all our venues, which some of you may know. Our main venues include the Dome, which is our largest used for conferences, dinners and exhibitions, 4,000 people for a dinner and 7,000 for a conference. It's an impressive venue which is around with high timber ceilings, which I believe is probably one of the most impressive venues in Australia. Adjoining that is halls 2 to 4 and adjacent is 5 and 6, ideal for conferencing with breakout facilities. These venues offer options for any event, being a blank canvas to host any event imaginable. We can also hold smaller events for 200 to 250 in our smaller venues such as the Stables and NG Stadium. Sydney Showground also provide all the food and beverage in-house, headed up by a fabulous Cyril Miletto, our executive chef, who's created wonderful menus with fine, fresh produce from around the country. Some of the corporate events that we hold at Sydney Showground include the Woolworths Conference for 1,600 with exhibition conference and a night market. Bunnings hosts their annual trade show with us in halls 2 to 4. And we also hosted Canva last year for 3,500 staff, which was spectacular in the Dome. We have also just released our customer service charter, which sets standards and behaviours that define experience we aim to deliver at Sydney Showground. And finally, all the profits from our events at Sydney Showground go back into agriculture, being a non-for-profit organisation. We have a venue for everyone, all sizes. Would love to chat to you if you feel that this may be the right fit for your organisation. And please reach out if you wish to host a site inspection to view the venue. Thanks.
So look at that, only 5 seconds over. God, this is going to be the quickest session ever. This is wonderful. Great job,
It's
Meg.
hard.
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough to go down and have a great site inspection of all the facilities there at Sydney Sugar, and it really is amazing because I think sometimes you think of it as only one venue, just this huge sort of space. But yeah, there's, as Meg was saying, there's so many different venues inside there, and I don't know if anybody went down there for the British and Irish Lions. Obviously, a huge amount that was going on there as well. So yeah, definitely a fantastic opportunity to go and see what those guys are doing down there, and so easy to get to from the city as well, with the transport links, things like that as well. So, but Meg is also just a wonderful person to engage with as well. So thank you so much, Meg. Great job. Our third speaker is one of our newest members, Mr. Dan Taylor. Dan is the Regional Director for Australia and New Zealand at Thomas International. And Dan, your 3 minutes, sir. Start now.
Thank you, and good to meet everyone. I'll see if I can stay within 3 minutes, but I've been known not to stick to times very well. But yeah, so new member, actually new to Australia, relatively new, 9 months into the journey of managing the Thomas business here. So always keen for any connections, reach out, coffees if you are based in Sydney. Love to catch up and learn more about your part of the world, the market you're in, and your business. But Thomas as a business, so we're a UK headquartered operation. We are global. We've been in Australia for 15 plus years. If you don't know the brand, we started off in 1981. We're effectively an assessment platform. So all that means is we help businesses when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to development, when it comes to teams. We look at some psychometric measures, assessments. We look at behavior, personality, aptitude, emotional intelligence, and we help you as a business make sure you're getting the right hire, the right fit for the team. We're looking at how we optimize your teams to make sure that everything is operating as it should be. So we've been in that business for a long time. Primarily in Australia, we work a lot within that recruitment context. So really helping businesses make sure that they get hires right. Like, as I'm sure you'll all be aware, making the wrong hire is pretty costly. Upwards of 50 to 200% salary it can cost you in terms of getting that hire wrong. So we really come in, help you as a business understand what you need from an individual, and then we help you measure that and make sure that through the interview process, you can really identify those soft skills that are going to make candidates successful in your business. We are an end-to-end solution though, so we don't just work in that recruitment space. We then look at how that flows through onboarding, how that then flows through teams and how we optimize those teams. One of our newest areas that we're really excited and passionate about is actually connection. So connection as a word means a lot to different people, but connection from our perspective, we've created a psychometric measure, science-backed, believe it's the first in the world, that really allows you to understand connection in your business. Connection ultimately is that underlying measure that drives long-term engagement. And we've got a platform solution that can really help support and drive your people and your people managers to impact connection, which then impact engagement long-term. So we've got a lot of new products we're launching to market. Typically, we aim for the mid-market, but we do have customers completely across the board. And what I like to say is if your business has people in it, then we can help, right? And we've got solutions and tools that really support that. So hopefully that's within time, Paul. I will
give a little bit of leeway there. You're 10 seconds over, so it's absolutely fine, Dan. Don't worry about it.
I'm back.
No, it's fantastic. Thank you so much, Dan. It's obviously great to have you. Great to have the company. It was great to have you in the country as well to really drive these things as well. And obviously a great opportunity to engage with the rest of our members as well. So thank you so much, Dan. Great job. Our next speaker is Lisha Ditburner. Lisha is the Corporate Account and Relation Manager over at Air China. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talks about what's going on in the world with air travel at the moment. But Lisha, your 3 minutes start now.
Okay, thank you, Paul, and nice to meet everybody. And this is probably second time I'm in this virtual meeting. Thank you for the opportunity. And apparently, our business is very straightforward. Everybody needs it, and for the airline company. Okay, yeah. Air China is a member of the Star Alliance and home based in Beijing. And actually, we have been here in Australia over 40 years. So even though probably some of them you probably not heard that. And we have the extensive international network and also domestic network in China. This is first of all who we are. And what kind of service we offer? Of course, schedule of the passenger flights. And out of Australia, we have the 2 direct flights from Melbourne and Sydney, 2 cities. So we operate under those 2 cities. And from Adelaide, for other cities in the capital in Australia, we team up with the Virgin or Qantas. This is the flights connected to Sydney and Melbourne and the flight Beijing. Then from Beijing, connected to all our networks to Japan, Korea, Europe, and North America. That's what we do. Who would like to engage with? Pretty much everybody, because everybody needs to travel. And in particular, like for this one, I'm looking for my role is for the corporate. So looking for the corporate organizations who have the travel needs and the major travel destination to China, and particularly for the Beijing, or by Beijing to Europe, to Japan, to Korea. This we would like to talk to them, and they will offer them upfront discount, and it depends on the annual the spend. And later on, I have to briefly check about the corporate program. And because for the Aussie, you go to Europe and everybody have to why somebody, and Air China provided the alternative device to buy Beijing. So somebody probably asked them, what about for the layover? So if the layover in Beijing over exceeding the 6 hours, we also offer after 2 types of the complimentary the options, actually 3 to choose from. One is just you can do the free of the half day the city sign-in tour in Beijing. Either go to the city of the attractions or go to the half day to the Great Wall. This is all complimentary. Take it over there. Or if say you have the energy, you can do that with the tour. Okay. If not, you want to have a rest, so we have the free of the hotel. They use hotel in Beijing, even for the economy class, the passenger as well. For the business class, would it be 4-star hotel, near the airport. So if say I don't want to go to when within the terminal, there's another option. You can have the transit lounge. It's all complimentary the free use. So we can deal with the layover, the non-layover over 6 hours in Beijing. And for the corporate, we mentioned for the corporate travel program, we also have the 2 types. One is for the signed program, which have the different tier. I just start from like 20K yearly spend, and up to like the 70K, of course, now with a different of the discounts. Another type, and we call the non-contract, non-agreement. We only need to agree and have the relationship with Air China and start with very little, like 20K. Of course, the discount level equivalent to the signed one, probably just slightly different, but still quite decent. For example, we have engaged like the government, universities, this major one, the mining, and construction and manufacturing. So we'd like to help for everybody. And actually the good news, we already offer extended this offer to all the chamber members through this membership effort. It's really just thank you, Paul, everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lisha. And I have flown with Air China in the past. It was wonderful. Unfortunately, I was only in economy. I didn't get to see the front end of the aircraft, but Lisha, we'll have a chat about that later. So,
that's good.
But no, I thought it was a fantastic airline, wonderful service. So thank you so much, Lisha. I'm sure there'll be lots of people that want to engage with you after this as well. So thank you very much. Now, don't forget, people, we do have a chat box inside here as well. So I would encourage you, if you'd like to have any sort of chats inside there, if you want to ask any questions, please do utilize that facility. We want to make this as interactive as possible. So our next speaker is one of our new members as well, who's also quite new to Australia at the same time. Helen Tanner. Helen is the founder and CEO of a wonderful new company here in Australia called Data Cubed. And Helen, your 3 minutes start now.
Great. Hello, everybody. So yes, I'm the founder of Data Cubed. We are data and AI consultants and builders, and we've delivered 300 plus projects in the last 9 years in the UK, and we've just launched in Sydney this year at the start of this year. So the services we offer, we effectively enable business leaders to check on their business performance like they check on the weather. It really should be that simple. That's our kind of goal. We run audits for businesses. We create tailored data and AI strategy and plans. And that means we build dashboards, we automate manual workflows, we set up databases, we set up AI tools, and everything we build is on our clients' infrastructure, and the IP is owned by them. So it's all about enabling them. Our clients usually have one of two problems. They're either saying to us, look, we don't trust our numbers, or we can't easily access our numbers, or it takes someone to mess around with loads of spreadsheets for me to get the answers to simple questions like how many customers do we have? So they're pulling their hair out with frustration. Or they're saying to us, look, we know we should be leveraging AI. We're reading all about it, but we just don't know where to begin, and we don't know how to do it confidently and securely. So after they've worked with us, what we enable our clients with is to have business numbers at their fingertips, really accessible through automated dashboards. We automate their processes so they can scale without recruiting any more people. They've got no more bottlenecks. They're innovative and they create new sources of competitive advantage. So they're growing faster. The types of companies we've helped are really range from estate agents to financial advisors to membership organizations. Some that you might have heard of would be Thatcher Cider, if any of you are Thatcher Cider drinkers from the UK, or Aardman Animations, who created Wallace and Gromit and all of those different characters. So, but really range in businesses. The types of people, organizations I want to engage with, really probably 50 plus employees is probably the right kind of size. C-suite roles, we're often working with CFOs, so finance leaders or change leaders. And really it's those disruptors and change leaders that you get in organizations, or generally anyone who says they've got a data or AI problem or opportunity and they don't know where to begin. So if you know someone in data hell, I'm data hells.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Helen. And you were 5 seconds under. There we go. You got us back on track. There we go. No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Helen. As you say, it's been so successful in the UK. It's going to be great to see, the success you're going to see here in Australia at the same time. So, as I say, everyone that's on this call, I would definitely engage with Helen and obviously see what she can do to either support you or your members or your clients or your colleagues as well. So, thank you so much, Helen. Our next speaker is Nidhi Sharma. Nidhi is the co-founder at Gunny. And Nidhi, your 3 minutes start now.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. My name is Nidhi and I represent Gunny SMS, which is a family-run business. I run this company along with my husband, who looks after the technical side of the business, and I look after the sales, marketing, and business development side of the business. So what Gunny is an Australian business communication platform that helps businesses connect with their customers fast through text message, SMS, MMS, voice, and automation. In simple terms, we help businesses turn their customer database into instant conversation using SMS. This means that businesses can start conversation, follow up faster, never miss an opportunity with their customer. Most businesses today really depend upon emails, which easily get ignored. But on the other side, SMS has 98% open rates, and most messages are read within minutes. So at Gunny, we provide businesses a tool, a platform to send bulk SMS campaigns for reminders, notifications, alert, two-way messages, means customer can reply you back as well, and API integration. So means we can integrate with your software or with any CRMs. Businesses use bulk SMS campaigns to reach thousands or even multi-thousands of customers, like promotions, event, any new launch or important service updates. Our clients use Gunny for appointment reminders in healthcare and medical industries, job notification for recruitment industries, marketing campaigns for retailers and e-commerce brands, and customer alerts for property, education, or service-based businesses. We also work with software companies and marketing companies who want to integrate SMS in their platform to engage with their audience. The type of people we would love to engage in this chamber is really a business owners who want better way of engaging their customers, marketing agencies or software providers who want to integrate SMS, or businesses with high customer interactions, such as hospitality, recruitment, healthcare, fitness, education, and professional services. These type of services we really want you to engage with. If your business sends notifications, reminders, promotions, or customers update, I think that's a good chance we can help streamline the communication. I would love to connect after this session to learn more about your business and explore how text message could support your customer engagement. Thank you.
With 5 seconds left to go as well. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nidhi. That's wonderful. And such an interesting thing as well, because obviously, as you say, everybody's wanting to know how they can engage with their customers more. And I think, it's going to be great to see, how you can support, many of our members. And I'm sure there'll be questions after this, and I'll have some questions after this as well. But for now, thank you very much. And we'll leave that until the Q&A at the end. So thank you so much, Nidhi. Now, we only have 3 more speakers left. So please, start thinking of some great questions. I know Fred Chilton is on the call today. Fred's always got some fantastic questions for our speakers. So Fred, keep writing them all down. And please do, again, use the chat facilities here as well. So our third speaker, and he's promised me that he's not going to talk about the Ashes. He's promised me this. So I just want to make sure that we all have that on here first. So it's Thomas Gazzell. Thomas is the Business Development Manager over at Queensland Cricket. Thomas, your 3 minutes without talking about the Ashes. Start now.
So anyway, the Ashes was this year. Hi everyone, my name's Tom, Business Development Manager for Queensland Cricket. We're the governing body for cricket across our state of Queensland and the Big Bash League. In the Big Bash League, we are the Brisbane Heat. So Queensland Cricket's responsible for growing and delivering the game of cricket from a grassroots level and participation all the way through to our professional teams. We manage the Brisbane Heat and the Queensland Fire in domestic cricket, as well as the Brisbane Heat in the Big Bash and also in the Women's Big Bash League. So from a commercial perspective, my role is about creating meaningful partnerships with organisations that want to connect with a passionate sporting audience across Queensland. We offer a number of commercial products that are designed, to help brands achieve the outcomes that they're looking for. Obviously, sponsorship, we don't like to talk about sponsorship. We talk about brand partnerships because that's how we see our partners. But these partnerships, are basically to align brands with the Brisbane Heat, match day visibility, digital integration through our socials, content opportunities, and also community engagement programs. Our partners leverage these really well and are able to grow their audiences in Queensland. We obviously offer corporate hospitality for our matches as well, boxes and suites at the Gabba here in Brisbane. They provide a really powerful launch pad for businesses to entertain, network, and build relationships with their clients, all in a really great environment. And then we also run our own business networking called the Inner Circle, where we get small to medium-sized businesses and we create opportunities for them to network. So talking about the Ashes, we did a 300-person lunch last year on day one of the Ashes with all our corporate members and our corporate network. We had Ricky Ponting, Matty Hayden come and speak. We did have to feel like we had to get a POM in, so Adam Hollyoak came and spoke as well. But we run golf days, we run a number of lunches and networking opportunities up here. In terms of the types of organisations we want to connect with, open to everyone, especially if you love cricket. But for us, it's really about, connecting with people that want to connect with our community here in Queensland. One sort of thing I always like to touch on is Queensland Cricket operates as a non-for-profit. So we fund the Queensland Cricket Foundation, which goes about funding 4 key pillars across our state to make the game more accessible. So be that through Indigenous reconciliation, all abilities programs, and infrastructure for local clubs, those sorts of things. So there's a bit of a feel good about what we do. I guess we always like to stunt on the fact that we are the most followed sporting organisation, most followed sporting franchise 8 years in a row on our social channels. We have a really huge audience that we would love to be able to leverage for people.
That's fantastic. And look at that, 3 minutes on the dot as well. That's fantastic. Now, thank you so much, Tom. I had no idea that for 8 years running. That's awesome. Well done. And obviously a great opportunity for business to be able to engage with you on that as well. I've got some questions for you after all this as well, so wait for the Q&A as well. So thank you so much, Thomas. Our next speaker is Ellie White. Ellie is the account director over at Liquid. And Ellie, can I see you on the call? There you are. And Ellie, your 3 minutes start now.
Great. Thanks for the introduction, Paul. And hi, everyone. As Paul mentioned, my name's Ellie. I'm the account director and country lead for Liquid in Australia. So Liquid's a global marketing agency, and it was set up by our CEO and founder, Elizabeth Lewis-Jones, in Birmingham over 20 years ago in the UK. We now have offices in Birmingham, which is where our HQ is, as well as Brisbane and Melbourne here in Australia. We work across 26 jurisdictions, so we're good at time zones and having lots of different clocks saved on our phone here and there. And we're a 360 agency, so that covers teams across social media, digital marketing, influencer strategy, design, and PR. We look after a big range of clients from government. So we just recently worked with the South Australian government on a campaign for sector-specific immigration, all the way through to sports, lifestyle clients, hospo, and food clients. The reason we decided to open an office here in Australia is because our biggest client at the time in the UK, which is Maple from Canada, these guys represent all Quebec maple syrup producers in Quebec. They wanted Liquid to take what we were doing in the UK and take it to the Australian market. So we were super excited by this challenge, and we opened our office almost 4 years ago now in Brisbane, and then our Melbourne office last year. Since launching the Maple from Canada work 3 years ago, we've increased exports of pure Canadian maple syrup into the Australian market by 31%. It's always fun to talk about maple syrup to all different walks of life, but we're in a really interesting position at the moment. As we have 20 plus years of experience in the UK with a large team on the ground, here in Australia, we have 3 years under our belt, and we're a much more focused team here on social media strategy and content creation. And off the back of this, we've developed a new offering for businesses here in Australia that is essentially a social media audit and strategy workshop where our team will work with your team to identify your core audiences, audit of your current channels, develop content pillars and a content plan, and essentially a social strategy that you can go away with. But what we've really found as an area that businesses need support on is the content itself. So when it comes to social, content is king. Reels are being created every second, and especially the way the algorithms are going at the moment, this doesn't look like it's going to be a change anytime soon. So we have an in-house content creator team who will work with your team to develop an asset bank. And we can do this on a one-off basis or an ongoing basis to ensure that you are reaching the correct audiences and making the most out of your channels. In terms of companies that we want to connect with, it's all businesses within the chamber that need support with their social media channels, no matter kind of what stage you're at, whether you're just starting out, whether you just want a fresh pair of eyes, or you want to refresh your asset bank, or support ongoing. We have a few different tiers to this, and we can be really bespoke depending on what your company's needs are. And we want to offer a discounted package rate to all chamber members and businesses to build the connections and support each other. So, Paul, I can send you the information for that, or speak with Matthew Joyce, who's based here in Melbourne, to share that offering with you all. But if you have any questions, please feel free to send them free.
Fantastic. And look at that, 3 minutes on the dot as well. Everyone's been practicing these. This is fantastic. No, it's great. And you know, all the different segments you were talking about there. Obviously, we've got so many people on the call today that work in those segments. So, you know, great opportunity there. And again, I'm sure there's going to be questions for you at the end of this session as well. So thank you so much, Ellie. Our final speaker, and he's a great person to finish this one off. I'm not going to big you up too much here, Mike, but you know, Mike is one of our long-standing chamber members. He's been at the chamber much longer than I have. And he's always been one of the sort of top people to get to know, and obviously always been so wonderful and hospitable by the sort of stuff that he does to try and benefit other people as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, our final speaker is Mr. Mike Franklin, chairman of Franklin Shanks. And Mike, your 3 minutes, sir, start now.
Paul, thank you for those kind words. It does seem a few years, I have to say. I've watched your children growing up vicariously, which is always entertaining. Thank you all. As Paul mentioned, I'm chairman of Franklin Shanks. We are a commercial, industrial and retail advisory business specializing in commercial real estate advice. Most commercial real estate firms represent both landlords and tenants, which we believe can create huge conflicts of interest. Franklin Shanks was founded a number of years ago to solve that problem. We only work for occupiers, providing completely independent advice so our clients know that every recommendation we make is purely made in their best interest. We help organisations navigate probably one of the most complex and expensive decisions a business can make is real estate. Whether a company needs a new office, warehouse, retail space, or wants to restructure an existing portfolio, we can help manage that entire process. That includes market analysis, site selection, lease negotiations, renewals, relocations, and long-term property strategies. What makes us different is that we take a strategic end-to-end approach. We don't just find space for people, unlike some of our competitors. We help companies design property strategies aligned with their growth plans, workforce needs, operational requirements, and so forth. Through our project assurance services, effectively a project management team, we can also manage the delivery of workplaces, including planning, procurement, design and coordination, and construction of the premises that you need to run your businesses going forwards. In terms of our clients, they range from startups and growing Australian businesses through to multinational corporations operating across multiple markets. Because we're independent and boutique, clients receive senior level advice and highly tailored solutions rather than a typical one-size-fits-all approach. Whilst we're headquartered in Sydney, and that's mainly because I enjoy sailing on Sydney Harbour better than I would do down in Melbourne, we support clients across Australia and internationally through a global network of tenant-only advisors in more than 40 major cities worldwide. That allows us to help companies expand, consolidate, or optimise their real estate footprint wherever they operate. Obviously, as with many of you guys, I'm an expat Brit, been here 34 years. My background is I'm a chartered surveyor from the UK and still have a lot of contacts over there, which helps with inbound business into Australia from the UK. And obviously, I'm delighted to offer discounted terms to ABCC members, as indeed others do. At the core of Franklin Shanks is a simple principle: buildings may be brokered, but clients should be represented. Our role is to ensure businesses secure the right property on the right terms in the right locations, so that real estate becomes a competitive advantage rather than just a cost. We like dealing with ABCC members. We've had a lot of fun over the last, Paul, 10 years plus, probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
We were a major sponsor for many years. Sadly, we're not anymore, but we still very much enjoy the interaction. So hopefully I haven't waffled on past my 3 minutes.
That's okay. You know, I gave you a little bit of leeway there, so that's no problem. So no, thank you so much, Mike. And yeah, to give Mike a few props as well. With our chairman, when it came time for us to move out of our old building, we utilised the services of Franklin Shanks as well to get us inside our new building here in Sydney, which was wonderful. And again, yeah, it's great to have somebody of their sort of magnitude in your corner to really help you against, you know, some of these landlords that can be a bit tricky at times. So thank you so much again, Mike. So that's all of our speakers that have done their 3 minutes, which is wonderful. Thank you all very much keeping to time. And now I want to spend, I guess, the next sort of 15 minutes or so to have, you know, a good amount of interaction. I see that people are already connecting on LinkedIn in the chat box, which is great. But I thought it's a great opportunity for us now to have, you know, Q&A. It doesn't have to be a specific question to one person. It could be an open dialogue if you like. So please, if you do have a question, please raise your hand, and then I can see you and I can obviously call on you as well, or just say something, you know, on the screen. But maybe I'll start things off. Oh, okay. No, Fred, I want you to start things off because you're fantastic.
Oh, that's very kind.
Absolutely. Fred Shilton, everybody.
Always happy to help, and thank you all for your presentations. I had a couple of questions for Tom, please, Thomas Gazal, about Queensland.
Yes.
Is the Gabba going to be used for the Olympics, or is it going to be a new stadium? If the latter, do you get to use it for cricket? And the second question relates to, how do you enthuse Indigenous kids to play cricket rather than just be interested in the AFL?
No, thank you, mate.
Queensland NT, yeah.
Yeah, as far as our stadium, so we've re-signed with the Gabba all the way through to 2032. So up until the Olympics, we will continue to host all of our games, and Cricket Australia and etc. will continue to use the Gabba. We will get a new stadium at Victoria Park. It's looking like it'll be about 65,000, which is great. A little bit bigger than the Gabba, and hopefully a little newer than the Gabba. But so yeah, we'll continue to operate there up until that point, and then the Gabba will transition out of there. So I believe there's some development earmarked there, but it's been a beautiful place for cricket in Queensland, and it's been a bit of a coliseum for us. It's been somewhere where not a lot of touring teams have been able to win, so we're hoping to replicate the same thing at the new stadium. But yeah, pretty excited for everything that's happening in Brisbane around the Olympics, for all of our facilities. So that's that one. And then the second question, look, for us, the Queensland Cricket Foundation, one of the major pillars is Indigenous reconciliation and accessibility. I think accessibility is the main part of it. It's just making the game more available. So I work in our commercial team that operates here at Allan Border Field, which is our main facility. But we have a community cricket team that's made up of about 35 people, from community cricket officers through to management, players, and training and specialists staff. So they'll go out and run programs in remote areas rather than kids. I grew up in Rockhampton, which isn't remote, but I was a cricketer and wanted to come and play cricket in summer or with representative teams, and I would have to come down to Brisbane. The idea being that we bring these programs to kids in their local towns. We did an amazing one. I think it was planned by our community guys, but we played some games of cricket over on Great Keppel Island at the end of last year. I think that was just their excuse for trying to get a week on the beach. But the idea being that we're bringing cricket where these kids are, growing the love for the game, and then obviously if they want to transition into the pathways that are available, we have grants that come out through our foundation for regional kids to allow them and their families to travel down to Brisbane and other areas. So it's something that we're really passionate about.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you very much for the question there, Fred. Great job. Maybe I'll take the next question. So Ellie over at Liquid, I guess PR agencies, I guess in the past maybe have had a bit of a bum rap. People have thought, oh, I'm not going to use a PR agency because it's going to cost me too much and it's going to be too complex. I've got a junior marketing person within my office. That person can just do everything. Off you go, sort of thing. What would be your viewpoints on that? What are the mistakes they're making by doing that, and is it as expensive as sometimes what people think it is, I guess, in a sense?
It's a really great question, and I think for us, Liquid specifically, because we have our Australian businesses here and we have the UK office too, we're really able to pull on so many expertise across so many different areas, covering digital, PR, influencer. And I think the comment you made around sort of, I guess, the fee that's associated with agencies, for us being a newish business here in Australia, kind of 3 years old in comparison to 20 in the UK, we wanted to make this social media offering that I just mentioned earlier, really quite accessible, because I think we need to show our value and build those connections first before we kind of go in and talk about these bigger projects. So I think for us, we actually kind of addressed that with this order that we want to offer to you guys. And I think something that I didn't mention there also was, even though I'm based in Melbourne and that's where the content creation team is, we do all the marketing for the Quebec maple syrup producers based 24 hours away. So don't let the distance of Australia be a barrier for this. We're here to support remotely where we can to create, from the other side of the country.
Fantastic. And it's great that obviously, as you say, you've got operations in both the UK and Australia, because obviously those businesses here in Australia that are looking towards advancing into the UK market, obviously they can come through to you directly, and then likewise those UK companies coming out here as well. But then having boots on the ground here, I think, makes a huge difference, doesn't it, Sal?
Totally. When we worked with the government of South Australia, it was such a pull. I mean, so what we did there was we were looking for skilled workers in the UK to come over and live in South Australia in their specific sectors. Having the knowledge of all the UK cities and and sort of sectors and how the messaging would resonate with them in the UK. Plus, we're able to hop over to Adelaide within an hour or 45 minutes, I think, from Melbourne. So yeah, it's very useful.
No, fantastic. And maybe there's even a great opportunity with the likes of Liquid and Franklin Shanks, for instance, because I know that, Mike, you're obviously always dealing with those international brands that are coming into market here and looking towards going overseas. And obviously you guys are great at supporting them with where they're going to be based. If it's going to be retail, where's the warehousing going to be, or if it's going to be corporate, where's their office going to be. And I don't know if sometimes they're approaching you and saying, oh, we're also looking towards engaging with, say, a PR agency, for instance, and things like that.
Absolutely. We very much act as, I guess, one of several sort of first contact points of companies coming in to Australia, both from Europe and other strange areas like the Americas. So we're in a position very much to leverage with a whole load of advisors, be it digital agencies, legal, employment lawyers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, thanks, Paul.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Mike. And maybe I'll switch it over to Helen over at Data3. So obviously, Helen, AI, it's the big buzzword at the moment. Everybody's talking about AI. But as you said before, everybody's talking about it, but they don't really know what they're talking about because they go, well, we want to engage with AI, but we just don't know how. And I guess, what are you finding, say in the UK, for instance, where obviously, you've been there a lot longer, and what you're going to be doing here, where do you see, I guess, the pitfalls that companies are going into when they're trying to engage with AI, but really don't know what they're doing with it?
Yeah, there's been a load of talk, hasn't there, and not much action. And I would say the action is just kind of getting started, really, in kind of mid-market businesses, if you like, and not in the kind of big Googles and the Apples and all those guys, but in mid-market businesses, I would say it's just getting started. The way we normally start to help businesses is in two ways. One, creating an AI strategy and plan that isn't a 50-page document. It starts really simple, but with the idea that your AI strategy and plan needs to be aligned with what is important for you as a business. You shouldn't be AI-led. You should have a business strategy, and then AI can fast-track you. And it needs to be in line with your principles, such as environmental, sustainable, and those types of things. So creating even a one-pager that goes, here's how we're going to leverage AI, is a good starting point. The other one is finding the lowest hanging fruit of where you've got people doing boring, monotonous admin tasks. They're doing the same thing. They're cutting and pasting. They're entering things into a system. All of those things. In manual processes, you've probably got manual errors. You've probably got a dissatisfied team. Go after that first and automate that. And that kind of, and that can that then excites you, gives you confidence. You can realize benefits really, really quickly. So that's my advice.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Helen. That's wonderful. If nobody else has any questions right now, I'll keep going. I've got loads of questions here, so don't worry about it. So maybe if I go over to Dan Taylor at Thomas International. So as you were saying before, it's about sort of connecting and engaging teams. And I think that obviously one thing that we've learned, during COVID, when we had everybody working from home, very, very difficult to engage with your team and obviously, really be able to support each other and things like that. Are you still finding that to be the case now? Obviously, there's still not a lot of people that have come back to the office environment, but are you still finding that right now companies are saying the most important thing we need to do right now is engage with our teams?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think COVID highlighted the challenge very quickly because we went remote and we realized that actually connection or understanding people was key to getting the most out of them in that environment. But as businesses have come back and workforce have come back, what's still evident is that connection is still critical, right? And the problem we see is that the end user, so the people managers that are ultimately tasked to engage with their teams, ensure their individuals within their teams are understood and given the tools to perform, they themselves don't have the tools at their fingertips to do that. So that's where we come in with our solution. We have a point solution that really we've democratized the use of psychometrics. So psychometrics has always been a very sort of protected area, right? Lots of accreditation behind it. Really need the HR professional to deliver feedback. We've reduced all of those barriers and made all of this really accessible to the people managers in a business. That then enables, we think, the unlock for people to really help the individuals, whichever dynamic they might be in. They could be remote, they could be in office, they could be, spread across the globe. Use our tools to really understand that and improve the dynamics in a team. So it's a good question, but I think it just really, really highlighted the challenge that was already there, but it was really brought to the forefront with COVID.
No, absolutely. And I think, now everybody's wanting to have their employee engagement survey results and engagement survey sort of scores, keep increasing. But yeah, it's a case of how do you really do that? So no, that's great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dan. Maybe as well, I will go to Thomas over at Queensland Cricket. Again, not talking about the Ashes, but obviously, this is predominantly obviously in Queensland. Are you still very much engaging with companies that have no feet on the ground there in Queensland, but obviously want to get their brand, want to get their name and that sort of engagement out of Queensland?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a number of national companies that we work with, Plantation Homes, Primo, a number of huge food service companies and things like that. We also offer what we like to call, what's the word that I'm looking for? Basically like international experience. So we have quite a few businesses that we work with through travel agents, where we have a facility here in Queensland called Allan Border Field. It's a really sort of well-known and iconic facility in Queensland. So we have our own conference centre here where we can run, whether it's conferences or functions, events and things like that. So we work with quite a few companies outside of Queensland where when they're hosting their national or international conferences, they'll come and do it here. And then we have our National Cricket Centre next door, which is Cricket Australia's facility, which is a world-class facility itself over there. So we do, you can do your function here and a conference, but then also go across there and we'll put you in the nets and put a bowling machine on you and give people a kind of a really unique experience based around cricket, obviously. But that's kind of what we do. We're always looking to connect with more people. Obviously, we play away fixtures down in the other states as well. So businesses from all over Australia.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So yeah, just want to make sure it wasn't just obviously Queensland centric. So that's great. And I just say, I think that the cricketing community is such a tight knit community as well, which is definitely what we saw when we were doing all of our Ashes lunches, things like that. I think it's a great thing to be part of because it really sort of embeds you within that network as well. So that's great. Thanks very much, Tom. Maybe I'll go to Nidhi next, because with Gunny, just wanted to understand a bit more. So obviously from the SMS marketing side and things like that, are you getting that data from the company that you're working for, say from their CRM tool, or are you also getting that data for them for a new customer base that they can approach?
No, so the data provided by the company. Here, I would like to clarify one thing is cold SMS is really not allowed in Australia. So if the customer doesn't know you, you cannot really send them the SMSs, right? So they have to be opt-in for your services. So the data belongs to the company. You cannot buy the data from somewhere and start sending the campaigns. This is not Australian compliance doesn't come like that. So if you have a really great database and you are not doing anything, so you are losing so much money on the table, right? So that's what I always advise my customer is that if you have a great database, it's actually a gold mine for you. So you can actually make so much money or start so much conversation from your existing database. Yeah. So I forgot to mention this thing that we are starting our operations in UK as well. So I think this chamber is really, really great. Connections and members can also help me to start in UK. So our aim is to start in maybe in a couple of months.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, if you're looking for a PR agency, I know of a great one. So
I just noted out his details. Yes.
No, fantastic. Listen, I'm conscious of everybody's time because I did obviously want to do a hard stop at 5 because I know that everybody has other things they need to do. So I did have more questions, but listen, what we want to do is obviously make sure that you guys are all engaging as well. As I've said, this is also being recorded, this session. So everybody that's watching this and you're not with us live, my goodness, why don't you love it with us live? But for those of you that are watching watching it now, please do engage with our speakers as well. I'll be sending out again all of our speakers' contact details. So please, see how we can support each other, even just to meet up for a coffee, learn a little bit more about each other, see each other at one of our wonderful events. And speaking of events, it would be remiss of me to not talk about some of our events that are coming up, which we hope to see you all at in wonderful Victoria. And I do have my colleague Matthew Joyce, who's our Victorian partnerships manager, on the call as well. In Victoria on the 18th of March, we're doing a fantastic wine tasting event with National Australia Bank. Always good to mix wine with your banking requirements. There we go. In WA, you what, sorry?
Tickets going fast.
Oh, tickets going fast. Thank you, Matt. There we go. Tickets going fast. Get into it now. In Perth, we're doing a huge event around defence. So it's going to be the Australia-UK Defence Lunch with the First Sea Lord and the Chief of the Navy. It's going to be a huge event, really high profile, great opportunity. If you're looking towards engaging with anybody within the defence industry, or if you are in defence yourself, definitely please try and get along to that. In New South Wales, 29th of April, we're doing a great event with Qantas. No offence, Air China, just an event we're doing with Qantas over at their facilities, which is around business growth and tourism. We've also obviously got the budget that'll be coming out in May. So every single year we do a huge budget breakfast here in Sydney. Queensland, obviously we don't want to neglect Queensland because we do some great events in Queensland, and we'll be doing a wine tasting and networking event there with National Storage on the 14th of May. And then the last one I'll mention, obviously there's a little football tournament taking place this year, the good old World Cup. It's coming home. That's what we always say, and then we'll go out on penalties, but we are going to be holding a fantastic World Cup football lunch, business lunch here in Sydney on the 29th of May as well. But please have a look on our website at all of our events. We'd love to see more of you there. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Thank you so much to our wonderful speakers for giving us more insight into themselves and their wonderful businesses. As I say, please do try and connect and engage with each other. If myself or any of our team across Australia can be of benefit or support to any of you, please do contact us as well. And obviously that will be on the email that I send out at the same time. But for now, thank you so much again for joining us. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon. And as I say, please do connect, engage, and prosper with each other. So for now, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.